Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. It is Thursday, October 28th. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Leah Lynchine. Thanks for joining us. Chris has the morning off. We start this morning with breaking news overnight of two separate shootings in the city of Madison.
As a result, 3 people are in the hospital recovering from gunshot wounds. Let's get you caught up right now. Around 10 o'clock last night, Madison police responded to a report of a shooting on Highway 151 near the eastbound on-ramp to I-90. Police say a 43-year-old woman and a 44-year-old man were found at the scene with minor gunshot wounds. Police do not have a suspect at this time. News 3 Now this morning did reach out to police asking if the victims were in the vehicle driving on the highway when they were shot. Police didn't answer, saying it could jeopardize the investigation.
Just a few hours before that, an attempted homicide at a gas station on Madison's Near East Side. That put a 35-year-old man in the hospital. It happened just after 6 last night at a gas station on Willie Street between Ingersoll and Few Streets. Police say people at the scene were trying to help the shooting victim before first responders could get there. Police say they are still investigating what exactly happened here. We're told there are no suspects in custody this morning. As more news comes out about both of those shootings, be the first to know by downloading the Channel 3000 News app. It's free to download in your app store.
Another big story today, the weather is going to be a wet day ahead across southern Wisconsin.
Oh, yes, it is. Meteorologist Chris Reese joining us now with when the rain is expected to move in this morning. You got an eye on the radar, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. The same picture that you all are able to see. This is what's behind me, and that rain is starting to work its way on into the picture. Now, a lot of what you're seeing over the Twin Cities, moving due south to north, that is the actual cold front, but there's an area of low pressure that's further back towards the south that eventually sends more rain towards us. So we are dry at the moment. We're watching a lot of that rain that is close by, but it is not impacting us just yet. I want to zoom all the way out. Here's the bigger picture. Your actual area of low pressure is over parts of central Missouri this morning. All the rain that you see east of St. Louis, going into parts of Kentucky, going into parts of Tennessee, that is what is going to stream its way northward as we go through time. We've been watching the system slowly work its way in from the west as we've gone through the past couple of days, and it's known as a cutoff low. This area of low pressure is no longer a part of the jet stream anymore. So we're going to see more of that shower activity increase as we go throughout your Thursday. That being said, I introduced you with the first warn last week. We talked about the game plan the other day. If you have a rain plan, now is the time to put that in place because that rain will arrive likely right around lunchtime. This morning, we're fighting some dry air, so you're only running into a little bit of drizzle if you see those drops. But lunchtime, that rain is starting to begin. It's a steady rain when we get towards your evening commute a little bit later on. Here's a live look outside right now. We are seeing the mostly cloudy skies. We're at 45 here in Madison. Same for our friends in Janesville. Platteville, you're at 46. The Dells and Baraboo, a little bit colder at 40. As of now, but we put things into motion, and you see what happens by the time you get towards 12:30. That's when the rain really starts to come in, and we'll see some of those heavier pockets of rain in the area as you start to move towards dinner time. So if you're going out for dinner, take the umbrella, but also plan ahead because that rain is going to come down a little bit steadier. This is when we could see the water ponding and the true lowered visibility from some of that rainfall, and it's going to stick around into parts of your Friday morning as well before we start to clear out into Friday night and Saturday. 54 today and tomorrow, 57 on Saturday. Tweak temperatures a little bit as we start to move towards next week. Still in the 50s with sunshine for Halloween, but next week it is 40s and 20s pretty much consistently every day. On the bright side, we do look to stay dry, but I will tell you, the model data is trying to give us flurries next week. Not sure if I buy it just yet, but it would not be unheard of. We're actually behind on seeing our first flurries. Typically, that is October 16th for the average date, and it is November by the time we get you towards Monday.
I was going to say, November's coming in already next week, so we're a little behind.
Yeah, I've been saying I'm expecting a colder than normal start to November. We talk about the bold prediction I made on Monday, and right now all signs kind of point towards supporting that colder than normal weather.
Chris Reese giving us the first warn. Thanks, buddy. If your plans bring you outside today, be sure to download the Channel 3000 weather app. You'll be able to get the latest forecast and check the radar wherever you are. It is free in your app store.
5:04 now. Kyle Rittenhouse's trial doesn't start until next week, but it's already proving to be contentious. The Illinois 18-year-old is accused of shooting 3 people, 2 who died during protests in Kenosha last year. A judge's decision to not allow the people shot to be called victims victims, but keeping the door open for words like rioters and looters has grabbed national attention. Judge Bruce Schrader has a long-standing policy of not using the term victims. He calls it a loaded term. Prosecutors, though, argue arsonists, rioters, and looters can be more loaded. Madison criminal attorney Jessa Nicholson briefly represented Rittenhouse last year, but she spoke to us just from her perspective as a defense attorney. She says the battle over semantics often plays out in court.
People are reacting very emotionally to it, and I understand that, but this really just isn't something that's some crazy, novel, innovative legal argument. It's something that, I mean, it's been around as long as I've practiced law.
Jury selection in the trial is set for next Monday.
A special committee created by the Madison School Board recommends a name change for James Madison Memorial High School. The committee has been discussing 4 potential names as several months of debate. All but one of the members recommended changing the name to Vel Phillips Memorial High School. Phillips was the first African-American woman to graduate from UW Law School and the highest-ranking woman to win state office as Secretary of State. The committee does not have the final say. This is a recommendation to the full school board.
An update this morning out of Oconto County. The search for a missing plane and its pilot is over after he was found dead. Deputies got a call after 6 last night about an airplane losing altitude near Kelly Lake, about an hour northwest of Green Bay. According to a release, the lights of the plane were off and the pilot was unresponsive. 2 jets were escorting the plane and witnessed it go down. No one else was on board. The FAA and local authorities are investigating.
Continuing coverage out of Milwaukee this morning, where the man who killed Marquette Business School Dean Joe Daniels nearly 2 years ago has pleaded guilty to operating a vehicle with a suspended license. 22-year-old Jordan Jones pleaded guilty to the charges in Milwaukee County Court. Prosecutors agreed to a plea deal which dismisses a separate felony charge punishable by up to 25 years in prison. Instead, Jones' guilty plea comes with a maximum sentence of 3 years in jail, followed by 3 years of supervision. Daniel's wife, Laura, says that while justice has been served, no one comes out ahead.
I lost the most important person in my life. Nobody wins, and I have to live with all of that.
Jones is scheduled to be sentenced in February.
A Wisconsin village president is at the center of a criminal case allegedly around stealing water. Sean Wisen is the village president of Somerset, Wisconsin, about half an hour northeast of St. Paul. The criminal complaint against him essentially accuses him of tampering with his water meter so that it ran backwards to the tune of roughly $10,000 in water usage fraud.
I mean, the thought that comes to mind is Danny DeVito's character in Matilda with the used cars, and he would, run the drill backwards to get the odometer to, read lower mileage than it was.
You can't make this stuff up. Our news partners in Minneapolis were unable to get a comment from Wisen. He's now charged with 6 counts of misdemeanor fraud for allegedly bypassing utility meters. Each count carries a fine of up to $500 and/or 30 days in prison. 6:08 now. Coming up, why President Biden is delaying a trip to Europe for a national address, what he's expected to say.
And the crazy video going viral this morning of a bear climbing up a Wisconsin tree stand and gnawing at a hunter.
Your parents spent years taking care of you, but as the years go by, it becomes your turn to take care of them. This might mean trusting a nursing home, which promises to care for them as cherished loved ones. But if the nursing home you've chosen is not keeping their promise, we can help. If your parents have been injured in a nursing home, call Habish, & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-7929. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-7929.
At U.S. Cellular, we know the local landscape, so we can help everyone stay connected for less. And less also means more, as in more choice. While the other guys may limit your options, at U.S. Cellular, you choose any phone and we make it free. That's right. Visit our store and any phone you see is free. Plus, get unlimited data for $30 a month and get the most out of our state-of-the-art network, wherever you choose to go. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle by the bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
You got her?
I got her.
I'm getting us McDonald's.
Enjoy a sausage McMuffin with egg or a sausage burrito and pair it with a $1 any size Coke.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back. Investigators in New Mexico are revealing new details about the deadly shooting on the set of the Alec Baldwin movie Rust.
Authorities say they collected 600 pieces of evidence and confirmed no footage of the shooting was captured. Investigators say they recovered the gun and projectile they believe killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza on the set. The Santa Fe County Sheriff says 500 rounds of ammunition, including blanks, dummy rounds, and suspected live rounds were found. Assistant Director David Halls examined the gun before rehearsal, but did not check all 5 chambers before it was handed to actor Alec Baldwin, who fired the deadly shot. The sheriff and district attorneys say at this point they aren't ruling out charges.
President Biden will speak from the White House around 10:30 this morning before heading off to Europe for a global climate summit. The president is delaying his departure for the talk, and it's all over his agenda. He's expected to attend a House Democratic caucus meeting this morning where he'll ask them to vote on an infrastructure bill. The progressive wing of the party has withheld its support, though, until the Senate can pass the Build Back Better social and climate plan. But moderate senators like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have concerns about the cost. It's already been negotiated down from $3.5 trillion to under $2 trillion.
And we owe it to the president to move forward. Take a vote on this, on the infrastructure bill. It's the only thing we have is bipartisan.
They're looking at the president's commitment to making a historic investment in addressing the climate crisis.
On the chopping block in this bill, paid family leave and a Medicare expansion that includes dental coverage. Free pre-K appears safe for now. Democrats are considering tax increases on billionaires and corporations to pay for the bill.
6:13 right now. We're in the 608 this morning, gearing up for the distribution of all those coats for kids you at home donated to the cause this year. Amber Dottie is the executive director of the Community Action Coalition of South Central Wisconsin, joins us live this morning from the east side. Amber, good morning. I know you guys are gearing up for a really big weekend.
We are. We're so excited to kick off.
So talk a little bit about what folks can expect your first couple of distribution events here in the next few days.
Yeah, we've really made the distribution of Coats for Kids bigger and better than ever. So we're now calling it Winter Glow, and there will be other community partners there who can help families sign up for food share. We're going to have food boxes. We're going to have home good boxes, a number of other resources for families to really help people stay warm and cozy this winter.
So I know we set a pretty good goal this year of getting more kids' coats, and overall, how are things shaping up for this winter?
This is the best year ever. Really, folks really came out. The Amazon orders worked really, really well. I would say this is the most kids' coats we've ever gotten, and I feel really, really great about kicking off on Saturday and being able to distribute all of them.
So for those folks that are looking to take part in this, what do they need to know?
Yeah, so there's an opportunity to pre-register on our website. So we don't require any documentation or anything like that. We just ask a couple of questions so that we can report that back in our grants that fund the distribution side of it. So you can pre-register. Also, if you're worried about parking, we have parking vouchers. So go ahead and park in the terrace, and when you check in, just let us know that you need a parking voucher. So parking is completely free as well, so families shouldn't have to worry about that at all.
Excellent.
And we start at noon and go till 7.
Yeah, you bet. So this is just one of the events that you guys put on every year. What kind of help are you guys always looking for there?
Yeah, we love volunteers. We're especially still looking for volunteers for the PM shift on Sunday, which is Halloween. So we'll end at 6 on Halloween, but we'd love some more volunteers, so you can apply through our website. But otherwise, support financial donations, letting people know, so sharing stuff on social media or following News 3 is a great way to get the word out.
All right, Amber Dottie, the Executive Director over at the Community Action Coalition. Amber, thank you very much. Of course, we'll get this all up on channel3000.com as well. Leah, over to you.
All right, Josh Breider, thank you very much. 6:15 now, let's check in with Chris Reese and your certified most accurate forecast. A lot of rain chances this week, Chris.
Lots of rain chances, especially as we go throughout today, Leah. And those rain chances, they're high. Widespread to wash out rains for today and into tonight. By tomorrow, we'll still have a chance for some showers, but they're coming down. And then look at how we are drier as we go throughout the rest of the week. Those rain chances stay low. That 6 to 10 day outlook favors drier than normal weather across parts of the upper Midwest. Most of your wetter than normal patterns will remain further towards the south. But as we expand this over the next 8 to 14 days, while we have equal chance of being drier than normal or wetter than normal, we still favor the drier than normal side throughout this part of the country. With that, typically comes shots of cooler air, especially as we start to get towards this time of the year. That is exactly what we're looking at. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look at this shot of colder air coming in out of Canada when we come back to weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. 6:16 now and developing overnight. An American Airlines flight had to be diverted on its way to California after a passenger assaulted a flight attendant. The plane was flying from JFK Airport in New York City and had to stop at Denver National Airport. Officials say the passenger punched the attendant, breaking her nose. Several witnesses say it all happened over a dispute about wearing a mask.
If you're not prepared to wear a mask, you're not prepared to fly, is kind of the moral of the story. That was why.
American Airlines released a statement overnight saying, "We are outraged by the reports of what took place on board. Acts of violence against our team members are not tolerated." Local and federal law enforcement are now investigating. Meanwhile, the American Airlines plane that made an emergency landing at the Dane County Regional Airport over the weekend is now out of Madison. According to an airport spokesperson, the plane left the airport sometime within the last day or so. It was flying from New York to LA when smoke started filling the cockpit, forcing it to land here in Madison. There were no injuries.
The Wisconsin DNR is no longer issuing wolf hunt licenses for the fall 2021 season. The move comes after a judge issued an injunction stopping the hunt last week. The DNR will instead work to complete a wolf management plan. Anyone who suspects that wolves are preying on their pets or livestock should contact USDA Wildlife Services. Well, it is not something a hunter ever wants to see when they're up in a deer stand. A curious black bear roaming around below.
Yeah, in Trempealeau County, just north of La Crosse, it took seconds for a curious bear to climb a tree a hunter was in. Jennifer Hoff shares the story.
Get down. There's plenty of video proof online, and hunters will tell you.
It's not totally uncommon for a bear to go into a tree with a hunter.
Including hunter Dalton Roach.
But the fact that he actually started gnawing on me and stuff like that was a little bit abnormal.
What does that even feel like?
It's hard to put into words.
The 25-year-old bit in the back by a nearly 300-pound black bear.
Obviously, he was a curious bear.
A bear Roach saw from his western Wisconsin deer stand and started recording from 20 feet up.
By the time he was under my tree and then up behind me was 15 total seconds.
With its paw in his lap and fresh puncture wounds, Roach realized he couldn't panic.
I kind of pulled myself out and then stood around and turned kind of in one motion to then face the bear and then just started yelling and hollering, I get it, you're here, but I need you to leave.
But the bear would linger below for another half an hour before wandering off, Roach on the phone with a friend for the quarter-mile trek back to his truck.
I was honestly kind of laughing about it because it's kind of one of those situations that obviously doesn't happen every day.
A trip to the ER later and a rabies vaccine.
That hurt more than the bite itself.
Doctors doubt Roach will even have a scar, but still quite the story to tell.
I think it makes it a little less believable because I think people are under the impression, if a bear bites you, you're missing something. So it's, along with just being like a cool story, it can be an educational tool too.
That is an incredible piece.
Just wild. Absolutely wild.
I can't imagine being up in a tree stand and not knowing what to do in that situation.
And normally bears are afraid of people, so the fact that he took a bite out of a hunter is just
insane.
Unbelievable.
Glad that doesn't happen every day for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, if you're ready to live the early days of quarantine, Netflix has something for you.
Yeah, Tiger King returns next month with a sequel.
I have a prepaid call from Joe Exotic. There's an innocent man in prison.
Tiger King 2. You heard it here first. It continues the story about Joe Exotic, the former owner of an Oklahoma zoo who's now in prison for his role in a murder-for-hire plot. The original docuseries introduced millions to America's most notorious big cat owner. The sequel reportedly also focuses on the woman who put Joe in jail, Carol Baskin, with more details on the death of her first husband. Tiger King 2 streams November 17th. On Netflix. You tuning in?
I never saw the first.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, you held back, huh?
I don't know if I have the patience. I don't know. You watched it.
I did. I fell into that trap. I will not fall into this one.
Oh, there's enough information for me to know. Exactly. 6:21 still ahead for us this morning. Why they're rolling out the pumpkins in one Midwestern city.
And in our next half hour, the federal mandate UW system leaders say they're willing to comply with.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
When the leaves start to fall and the nights get cooler, you know it's sofa season. Steinhoffels has a sofa to fit every style and budget. A sofa for the big game, a sofa for catching up, a sofa for cuddling. During Steinhoffels' falling prices sale, every sofa, every bedroom, every dining room and more, it's all on sale. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of in-stock furniture and all the best brands of mattresses. It's the falling prices sale, only at Steinhoffels and Steinhoffels.com.
Over these past months, we've all experienced changes and a great deal of reflection. But here's a change you can truly be excited about. Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, permanently removes the fat from your stomach, hips and thighs, and back.
I walked past mirrors. I didn't want to see any of that. I can't even tell you how excited I am about Sono Bello and what they've done for me.
I'm just living my best life now because I'm being the best that I can be.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-512-1753 or go to sonobello.com now.
It's time to find your next Chevy truck and forge ahead. Take on new challenges and take it to the next level. It's the perfect time to do more in your next Chevy. Find new possibilities, find new roads. Eligible customers get great offers from GM Financial Plus. No monthly payments for 120 days on all 2021 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups and get $1,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The holidays are doubly important this year, so make your celebrations doubly special with our award-winning cave-aged Maurice cheese. Pick and save. Hey, you're right, we can't stop now. Let's take the special up a level with fresh, never frozen prime beef. Still not special enough? Add some surf to that turf with our sustainably caught seafood. Turn your taste buds up to 11 and have a doubly special holiday with Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. Julie giving us a stunner, a sky on fire there.
We've had a lot of fiery sunrises, sunsets lately, which is always amazing to see.
Oh, we love it. This is the reason we wake up. Julie, thank you very much for sharing.
If you've got a photo you'd like to share, just use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We love to see them every morning.
Just about 6:25 now. Everyone has a little pumpkin fever with Halloween just a few days away.
Yeah, before you know it, it'll be time to sled down hills of snow. But what about hills of pumpkins?
What?
Take a look at this. Last night, the annual Pumpkin Roll in suburban Cleveland started more than 50 years ago as a prank by a group of high school students. Students used a dump truck to unload pumpkins at the top of a hill and sled down the hill using the pumpkins. The thing is, the event is actually illegal, but students raise money every year to pay the fine and clean up the mess.
This is hilarious. I love this.
It's got to be so slippery because I just think of how slimy the pumpkin seeds and all that whatever gooey stuff is on the inside.
So did you do any crazy stunt in high school? Any sort of prank for senior day?
I don't think I did. I can't think of anything at this moment. Did you? I could see you doing something. Did you?
I let a chicken loose in
Of course you did.
our high school. I snuck it in my massive 2000s purse and it pooped everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did not do anything like that.
Oh,
I was the goody two-shoes. I know, I didn't do anything wrong. Ever.
Chris, something tells me you didn't pull any pranks either.
I was a bit of a goody two-shoes as well.
That's what I thought.
Student council president,
You guys make me look bad.
No, all right. Bus stop forecast for you as you head out the door really quickly. We are going to see that rain on the increase as we go throughout today. Temperatures stay in the 50s.
We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At U.S. Cellular, we know the local landscape, so we can help everyone stay connected for less. And less also means more, as in more choice. While the other guys may limit your options, at U.S. Cellular, you choose any phone and we make it free. That's right. Visit our store and any phone you see is free. Plus, get unlimited data for $30 a month and get the most out of our state-of-the-art network, wherever you choose to go. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
This year has been good for binging, but bad for bodies. Maybe your me time could use an upgrade to Massage Envy, where more people go to feel and look better. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have
have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it around my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth today by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
More showers are on the way. We are tracking them, timing them out for your commute in the First Warn forecast.
Plus, interim UW system president Tommy Thompson speaking out about President Biden's vaccine mandate. We'll tell you what to expect for the school system. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Thursday, October 28th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Breiter.
Happy almost Friday, everybody. I'm Leah Linshine. Chris Stanford has the day off. A big shift in the weather coming today. We've got a wet Thursday on tap. Chris Reese here now with your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Chris.
We've been talking about this rain since early this week, telling you that by the time we got you towards Thursday, rain would be on the way. We're seeing some of that rain on radar already this morning, but it's battling some drier air, so not all of it makes it towards the ground. In fact, you might run into some drizzle early, but the true rain holds off until a little bit later. Let's zoom things out. I want to show you what's been happening towards the west. If you have friends or family in the Twin Cities, you've talked to them, you've talked about the weather, they've been telling you about the rain because it started yesterday. We're still seeing the steady rain out there today. Meanwhile, we're dry, but my focus is on what's starting to work its way on in from the south and east. This rain, getting ready to knock on our door, has a connection all the way down towards Louisiana, and that's going to be working its way towards the upper Midwest as we go throughout today. That being said, yes, we are already cloudy, 45 degrees. Our winds are straight off of Lake Michigan, out of the east. 46 in Janesville. Good morning. Watertown's at 47, 40 in the Dells, 46 as you work your way over towards Platteville, too. So this is Future Track. We're going to plan our day. All right, Chris, I see some rain on there. I'll tell you, this is certainly overdone. Again, we have that drier air in place, so it's overdone early. It has a better picture as we start to move towards the afternoon, though. 10 o'clock, pay attention towards the state line. Here comes that rain working its way out of the south. We'll get you towards lunch. I fully suspect we will start to see those raindrops falling, but your evening commute will certainly be wet as well. Right around dinner time, some of the heaviest rain works its way in. Here's the other thing I want to point out. We are so used to looking at our phone app, seeing the radar, and it comes from the west. Today and into tomorrow, our rain's going to be working its way from the south and east. So it's coming the opposite direction. So keep that in mind as you track those showers on your weather apps as we go throughout today. But I'll tell you, we keep the showers around into early tomorrow. We'll finally start to get rid of them tomorrow afternoon, and it is more 50s tomorrow, too. For those temperatures, 57 on Saturday, 51 on Sunday. By next week, we do see a bigger push of some of that colder air that's keeping our temperatures below average with highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s. And that type of pattern could last pretty deep into November.
Feels like November.
Yes, it does.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. Stay on top of the weather today and next week when it gets a little colder by downloading the Channel 3000 Weather app. Do a search for Channel 3000 Weather to find it in your app store.
Coming up on 6:33 this morning, we want to pass along a first warn traffic update for you.
The DOT says the I-39/90 southbound ramp to the Beltline will be closed to all traffic for more than a full day next week. Starting at 2 a.m. Tuesday, November 2nd, it runs until 5 a.m. the next day. The 27-hour closure will allow crews to expedite the current phase of construction going on there. Alternate routes will be posted. Construction work at that interchange is expected to be completed in mid-November.
The UW system says it will comply with President Biden's executive order requiring federal contractors be vaccinated against COVID. UW President Tommy Thompson says they're still trying to figure out whether that will be the case system-wide. He's against mandates, but says they will still comply to keep those federal contracts.
But when the federal government issues an order that's going to adversely impact a couple $100 to $300 million worth of contracts, we have to do what the federal government says in order to maintain those contracts. I could not give up $300 million, even though I'm very opposed to mandated vaccines.
Thompson is touting the new 70 for 70 vaccine incentive. He says right now 12 out of the 13 participating state campuses have vaccination rates above 70%.
Madison East High School principal Sean Levy being reassigned to a different role within the school district this morning. The move comes after a handful of student protests recently over the school's handling of an alleged sexual assault. A district spokesperson says Levy has accepted a position as Director of Secondary Multi-Tiered Support and Scheduling. Assistant Principal Mickey Smith will serve as interim principal for the rest of the school year. She's worked as assistant principal there for the past 11 years.
The Wisconsin DNR is teaming up with other conservation groups to remove invasive species from the Mississippi River. Their goal is to remove silver carp. Crews are using underwater speakers and nets to herd fish into areas where they could survey native fish and remove carp. The invasive carp can have a negative impact on other species as they make their way up the river.
As they move in pools and establish, you see a change in the fish species and in the populations of fish. And so we're trying to use this method to reduce the number of invasive carp in this area before they can actually establish in a location.
The DNR used the same process earlier this year and removed 34 carp from one area on the river. 6:35 right now. Professional hockey player Kyle Beach has come out as the player sexually assaulted by a former Chicago Blackhawks coach.
I've been a survivor. I am a survivor, and I know I'm not alone.
Beach giving an interview to TSN in Canada about the assault that happened 11 years ago. An investigation released this week found that after he reported he was assaulted by Brad Aldrich, the Blackhawks waited 3 weeks to look into the allegations while the Stanley Cup season continued. Aldrich was also included in the Cup celebrations before he resigned. Beach says after he came forward in 2010, his career was threatened. Following the investigation, the general manager of the team resigned, and the NHL has fined the Blackhawks $2 million.
A woman is still seeking justice after decades of work, saying multiple systems failed her after reporting sexual abuse. Melissa Trejo says her adoptive father, Mike Hill, a longtime teacher in the River Valley School District in Spring Green, abused her as a child. She reported it to Spring Green police, but it took about 30 years before Hill was charged for first-degree sexual assault of a child.
And that's the thing that is shocking, is that I have a police report and he clearly admitted to sexual contact with me. You know, I mean, it doesn't get much better than a confession. Why wouldn't they take that case on?
Hill died this summer before any kind of conviction. But as Madeline O'Neill will show us tonight on News 3 Now at 6, Melissa's fight is far from over.
This morning, the future of farming is looking up with the use of new technology.
We use it for spreading seeds, use it for spraying pesticides, herbicides. We can do it in a very precise manner. It's very controlled.
Purdue is leading the rollout of drone use in farming. With the help of this 8-propped drone, farmers can plot their fields, plant greater yields, or get a look from above and track things like flooding. Each drone can carry roughly 20 pounds. Purdue currently has 25 drones spread throughout the state of Indiana, where they continue to gather more research.
It's a big day for the Packers as they prepare to face off against the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. Kickoff 7:20 tonight. And if you're looking for a new way of supporting them, you might be able to buy into the team. The NFL has given approval for a potential stock sale for the Packers if they comply with all the regulations in place. Green Bay wants the option to help pay to make improvements to Lambeau Fields. It would be the 6th time the team sold stocks. The last time was back in 2011.
6:37 right now. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside. Calm so far to start off this Thursday, but rain is moving in. Chris Reese is checking the radar for us coming up.
And Wisconsin wineries and breweries working through their own supply chain issues. How that might impact what you're paying.
Black November starts now at Ashley Home Store. Black Friday mattress doorbusters are available now. Save up to 65% off top brands and pay no interest financing for up to 5 years on luxury brands. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Give your home a fresh update and save big money with Mohawk Tile from Menards. Mohawk features a large selection of beautiful and durable ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tile. Get the job done right with professional quality tile installation products from Tech. Menards carries Tech mortar and grout to work with all floor and wall tile sizes and types. Get 11% off Mohawk Tile and Tech installation products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
I have worked at Huffcore for the last 36 years.
Huffcore closing the plant, moving production to Mexico.
I gave my life and my body to that place. Ron Johnson pushed through a tax law that rewards outsourcing. Companies can bring profits back from Mexico tax-free. And worse, Ron Johnson profited personally from outsourcing. He has doubled his wealth since taking office. Tell Ron Johnson to stop putting his profits above our jobs.
Here's to the guy with the tree in his kitchen who can't talk right now because his elderly neighbor needs help. Here's to the generator in the middle of the street with extension cords running to 4 different houses. Here's to the countless acts of kindness that helped the Midwest recover from one of the worst storms in recorded history. You've given a whole new meaning to the term silver lining. The worst brings out our best.
The grand opening of Furniture and Appliance Mart in Madison is Friday, November 5th at 10 a.m. Located next to Best Buy on East Springs Drive, the all-new store will feature the area's best selection of new styles, custom furniture, design center, and appliances. Join us at East Springs Drive on Friday, November 5th.
Years after reporting her father abused her,
He confessed to sexual contact with me.
yet he continued to walk free. Madeline O'Neill talks to a local woman who spent decades seeking justice.
And I'm not going away.
News 3 Now investigates tonight at 6. News 3 Now and Channel 3000 put top stories and breaking news at your fingertips. Video alerts and forecasts, simple and fast. Download the Channel 3000 app today.
I'm Jerry from Chicago.
I'm Shannon from Chicago.
Hey, Chris, plan our day.
All right, Chicagoland making itself known right here on News 3 Now this morning. Well, if you're hanging out in Madison or if you're back in Chicago, we're running into rain chances out there. In fact, they're going to work their way in as we go throughout the morning. Maybe you're in Madison and you have a flight to Chicago this afternoon, and you know how that gets. Dane County Regional, that flight over to Chicago when there's any type of precipitation nearby. That's something we're contending with. Temperatures stay into the 50s. Doppler track over Madison is clear, so we're going to zoom it out. We're going to include Chicago, too. You see some of the rain starting to approach the western suburbs of Chicago, but all this rain really starts to increase more in nature as we go throughout to the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. So get ready for a soggy period, but also get ready for a cold period as we start to move towards next week. This is the shot of colder air that's going to be working its way towards the upper Midwest and just kind of settling in as we go through the next couple of weeks. Below normal temperatures are expected all throughout the first week, really even the first 2 weeks of November.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you. 6:42 is your time, and we are in the 608 this morning, gearing up for distribution of all of those coats for kids you at home donated to the cause this year. Amber Dottie is the executive director of the Community Action Coalition. She joins us live from the east side this morning to preview the events. Amber, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh.
So you guys have been busy sorting through all of those donations. We had so many this year. You guys had a successful year so far.
It's been a banner year. It's been so successful, and we've definitely seen a huge increase in kids' coats. So just thank you so much for all of that.
That was the big push this year, is kids' coats, kids' coats, kids' coats. And talk a little bit about that impact that we are seeing right here in the Madison area.
Yeah, so the impact is huge. We know that families are really struggling, and so this year we're trying to make the Coats for Kids distribution bigger and better than ever. So we're going to have information about the Core 2.0 program, which is our rental assistance effort. We're going to have all of the wonderful kids' coats, and then a number of other kind of resources for families at the event as well.
So we can see all of the coats behind you this morning. You guys have sorted through them. You're getting ready for the first distribution events this weekend. What do people need to know for these first couple of distribution events?
Yeah, so come as you are. Everyone is welcome. You don't need to bring any documentation or anything. There is an opportunity to pre-register on our website, so you can kind of skip the line and run right in. But otherwise, we just have a couple questions for folks for our grants that help fund the distribution. If you're nervous about parking, don't be. We actually have free parking passes, so if you park at the Monona Terrace and come into the event, just let us know. We can give you a parking pass as well. But we open the doors at noon on Saturday at the Monona Terrace, and we'll close at 7 p.m.
And that's been the big difference for you guys this year as you're moving buildings. You guys are in a new location.
Yeah, so just to add a little bit more fun to this fall, we decided to move from the location we've been at for the last 32 years, and we purchased a new building over by Easttown Mall. So our team has been setting up in our basement, which has worked really well for us to be able to sort coats by sizes and really get organized for this weekend.
All right, Amber, Dottie, we appreciate all the hard work you guys over there at the Community Action Coalition have done this year. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course, we'll get all of this up on channel3000.com as well. Remember to let me know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email for a chance to be featured.
6:44 now. Another supply chain bottleneck is affecting local beer and winemakers. Breweries and wineries in western Wisconsin are feeling the pinch when it comes to glass bottles and aluminum cans. It's also starting to impact what you're paying. Emily Hogan reports from La Crosse.
From vineyard to table, El Morro Vineyard in Trempealeau takes pride in its acres of grapes.
The romance of it is fun. Seeing the people, I enjoy seeing people, the guests, the people that play musical instruments here. It's fun. That part's fun.
But a bottle shortage is upsetting the flow.
Every day can be a challenge, which is normal for this business. It's not unusual for it to be a challenge. It's just adding more weight.
Competition for its main supplier in Mexico and shipping backups have raised bottle prices and made it tougher for small wineries like El Morro to keep up.
Every winery in the world is feeling the shortage. I don't believe it's just us. We feel it rather hard because we're a small winery in the full wineries picture.
And glass bottles aren't the only thing coming up short. At Pearl Street Brewery in La Crosse, they're short on cans.
Last year we got a canning line in 2020, and that was right about the time the aluminum shortage happened.
That shortage made founder Joe Kachiver's supplier unable to fulfill its canning contract.
Cans we are able to source are all, very high quality, just as good, but they're coming from overseas as opposed to domestic cans. So it's really hard to find American-made cans, which we would prefer to use.
Raising prices and pressure on suppliers along the chain as the shortage goes on.
The real issue here is the unknowns, not knowing what, the future looks like.
Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Right now, a Michigan farm is harvesting vegetables and changing the lives of formerly incarcerated Americans.
You came home in May of 2020. What was that like?
Pandemic was still going on. I was simply grateful to be home and for the second chance, but where do I go from there?
Coming up at 7 on CBS Mornings, Nancy Chen visits with them and shares their story. That is right here in just a few minutes after News 3 Now this morning. 6:47, if you like to debate what Halloween candy is the best, there's an interactive map that might help you make your case. It shows the most popular holiday treat in every state.
CandyStore.com says it used 14 years worth of data to put together the map. Butterfingers are our favorite here in Wisconsin. Minnesota, get this, prefers Tootsie Pops. Illinois loves Sour Patch Kids.
I love a good Butterfinger, so I support Wisconsin 100%. As a Minnesota native, I don't know about the Tootsie Pop thing.
I loved Tootsie Pops when I was younger. They seem kind of old school.
They're kind of old school and just not something I want on Halloween, I guess, but maybe.
It really depends on where you are, right? Because I'll take a Sour Patch Kid any day of the week if I'm at the movie theater. Butterfinger or Reese's any other time.
A Snickers, Twix bar.
You gotta got some peanut butter in there.
Yeah, little chocolate, little peanut butter.
Reese's. I now exclusively make my s'mores with Reese's.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Oh, it is good.
All right, I'm coming over for a bonfire.
By all means, come on over.
Zach, I'm coming over. Prepare.
Chris Reese, your favorite candy. Give it to us.
My favorite candy is anything gummy bear. And so right now it's the Skittles gummies.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I can get behind that.
That is a thing. And so they just released it this year, and I gave it a try, and I was pretty impressed. Before that, it was always Lifesaver gummies, and then there are these they're like, I don't even know how, it's like Starburst, but gummies, and they have like this liquid gel on the inside. So basically it's sugar.
Like
it
Gushers.
is liquidized sugar. But it's like Gushers, and that has been my candy of choice. Now, when it comes to anything chocolate, it has to be a Reese's, because I do not like chocolate unless it is coupled with peanut butter.
Reese doesn't like chocolate.
That's interesting. But yeah, I like the peanut butter idea, though.
So basically, kids, don't stop at Chris Reese's house this year. He's not serving up chocolate.
I will not be serving up chocolate, no.
Womp womp.
I wish I didn't like chocolate. Okay, Mr. Reese, thank you very much. 6:49 coming up in the morning sprint. A pair of bills passing the Senate and Assembly in Wisconsin. We'll tell you what they are and whether Governor Evers will sign them.
But first, it is October 28th, and we want to say happy birthday to Owen and all the other kids turning 3 today. Happy birthday, and have a great day from all of us here at News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Here at Madison Lighting, they're ready. It's your chance to pre-shop the fall sale at Madison Lighting. Every light fixture, every brand, indoors and out. Pre-shop the fall sale now for the best prices of the year. Watts Road, Madison.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-7929. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-7929.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Are doubly important this year, so make your celebrations doubly special with our award-winning cave-aged Maurice cheese. Pick and save. Hey, you're right, we can't stop now. Let's take the special up a level with fresh, never frozen prime beef. Still not special enough? Add some surf to that turf with our sustainably caught seafood. Turn your taste buds up to 11 and have a doubly special holiday with Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
He doesn't just talk.
Democrat Alex Lasry
Gets it done. Help build Pfizer Forum on progressive values. Wages $15 an hour. Materials 80% from Wisconsin. Environmentally cutting edge.
Alex Lasry.
Leader on social justice. Proven activist for voting rights.
Alex Lasry.
The Democrat to beat Ron Johnson. It's why Alex Lasry is endorsed by Wisconsin's leading unions. For Senate, Alex Lasry.
I'm Alex Lasry, and I approve this message.
Here at Madison Lighting, they're ready. It's your chance to pre-shop the fall sale at Madison Lighting. Every light fixture, every brand, indoors and out. Pre-shop the fall sale now for the best prices of the year. Watts Road, Madison.
Hope is closer than ever. SSM Health Cancer Care.
6:53, time for the morning sprint.
We have some breaking news this morning. 2 people are recovering in the hospital after a shooting on Highway 151 near the eastbound on-ramp to I-90. Police say it happened around 10 last night. Officers do not have a suspect at this time. We reached out to police asking if the victims were in a vehicle driving on the highway when they were shot. Police didn't respond, saying it could jeopardize the investigation.
Madison East High School Principal Sean Levy is being reassigned to a different role in the school district. That change going into effect after a handful handful of student protests recently over the school's handling of an alleged sexual assault. A district spokesperson says Levy has accepted a position as Director of Secondary Multi-Tiered Support and Scheduling.
The State Assembly is sending a package of anti-abortion bills to Governor Evers' desk 2 years after he vetoed many similar proposals. Republicans say the measures are a priority. Democrats say it's a ploy to energize their base. The GOP does not have enough votes in the legislature to override a veto.
4 kids arrested after crashing a stolen car on Madison's west side. Officers tell us it happened yesterday near the intersection of Raymond Road and Whitney Way. They hit a curb and then ran off pretty close to Toki Middle School. Police notified the school staff after the incident. All 4 have been taken into custody.
Funeral arrangements are set for 3-year-old Major Harris. According to Foster Funeral Services in Madison, visitation will take place from 1 until 2 on Saturday. The funeral will follow. Harris became the subject of an Amber Alert after his mother was found dead on October 14th in Milwaukee.
A 35-year-old man in the hospital this morning recovering from a gunshot wound. This shooting took place outside a gas station on Willie Street between Ingersoll and Few Streets last night. Police say people at the scene were trying to help the shooting victim before first responders could get there. Madison police say they are still investigating what happened, and there have not been any arrests.
The World Series tied at 1 game apiece. Last night, the Houston Astros scored 7 runs to beat the Atlanta Braves. The teams now travel to Atlanta to play the next 2 games of the series. That starts tomorrow night. According to the Federal Trade Commission, cigarette sales went up last year for the first time in 20. It was a 0.4% increase, with a total of 203.7 billion cigarettes sold. The Wall Street Journal reports more smokers are switching back to cigarettes because of new restrictions on flavored vaping devices.
Brett Favre has paid back most of the money he owes to the Mississippi Department of Human Services. He unknowingly accepted $1.1 million of welfare money from them. The Mississippi auditor says he paid $600,000 this week. According to the Associated Press, he paid $500,000 back in May of 2020, but he still owes about $220,000 in interest.
Chicago is retaining its crown as the rattiest city in the country. According to the pest control company Orkin, Chicago has now owned that title for a 7th consecutive year. Experts say there have been more than 53,000 rat-related complaints in the city this year alone, and there are still 2 months to go.
We're tracking the rain showers headed into your Thursday. We are dry at the moment, but that shower activity is going to be working its way on in from the south, fighting dry air early before that rain starts to reach the ground. 45 degrees right now. We are, of course, featuring lots of cloud cover. By lunch, we see the raindrops. As we get you towards the evening, that's where those raindrops are going to be at their heaviest. 51 at lunchtime. You see that rain working its way in from the south. 6:30, your evening commute. Things going to be pretty soggy. Keep it here all day long. We'll track that rain with you.
Thanks, Chris. Make it a great day, folks.